Okay, so welcome to this masterclass, this superclass, where we're going to be talking about how to become a successful e-hypnotherapist and to get more clients while working smarter in your business. So you're in the right place if you want to start an online business helping people, if you want to get more clients, if you want to get better at marketing and sales. And if you're a healer, a coach, a practitioner, or a therapist, or you want to become one of those people or those types of roles, then you're in the right place. So look, it doesn't matter whether you're already trained as a hypnotherapist or whether you're brand new and you've got no experience in hypnotherapy at all, there's something in this superclass for you. So keep watching. So let me kind of give you the overview as to what we're going to be learning in this superclass. So number one, we're going to share with you the 5 steps to becoming a successful e-hypnotherapist. We're going to talk about the 4 lucrative offers that a digital healer or an e-hypnotherapist can make to really expand and scale their business. And we're also going to look at the 6 beliefs to convert a lead into a customer and so much more as well. So get pen handy, get some paper, because you likely want to take some notes. Let's start by getting a foundation as to what is the basic online business structure. First of all, you want to develop a skill, some sort of skill that you can monetize. So whether that be e-hypnotherapy, could be kinesiology, it could be psychology, it could be counseling, it could be being a life coach, could be a holistic coach, a health coach, a personal trainer, whatever, developing some sort of skill. Once you have a skill that you can monetize, the next step is to look at the market. So who out there has a need for what you can offer? So getting really clear on your market. The next step after that is then defining an offer that is going to be irresistible. Not putting out a mediocre offer or an average offer, but really packaging it up so it seems like $1 million idea. The next step, once you have a really irresistible offer, is to then learn how to market it. And so you can do organic marketing using social media for free. You can do SEO. SEO takes a little bit of time, probably about 3 to 6 months to really get some results and some consistent work in order to be able to do that. You look at paid ads. Paid ads can happen very fast, can scale your business quite rapidly, but does require capital at the start. And then you also emails. So you can send out emails to people, create an email list. And so these are a number of ways you can market once you have an irresistible offer. And then once you're marketing, you get people that are then going to want to purchase with you or enroll in your program or your offer. And so you can do that through online. You can have a website or a landing page or a sales page that will just convert people without you having to be there. And there's other ways where you might get people on the phone. And in fact, phone calls do convert at a higher rate because often people just want that personalized connection. Now, what will likely happen is some people won't be ready to buy when you're ready to sell. And so they feed back into the marketing. And so some people need a little bit more time to digest your content, your free content, start to understand who you are. They want to know whether they like you, whether they trust you, and whether you're going to be able to meet the promises that you say you can. And so that kind of cycles through and you get some sales. And then finally, once you've got some sales, it's then about delivering it. So are you going to deliver a live? So could it be face-to-face, which you can absolutely do? Is it going to be virtual but live? So through video calls, but it's still live. Is it going to be pre-recorded videos? Is it going to be audio programs that you've pre-recorded? Or is it going to be written content such as PDFs or ebooks or guides or templates or swipe files, or how are you going to be able to give extra content out there? So there's a number of different delivery mechanisms you can look at. But overall, I think the real gold here is understanding that you can systemize it all. And the great thing about systemizing is it becomes predictable and repetitive. Once you develop a system, you can go back and optimize it, especially if you're not getting the result you're hoping to. And eventually you develop a system that works, it gets results, and you just repeat the system. You repeat it over and over again. And that's the value of really systemizing everything that we do in our business. Even if you are a talented and heart-driven healer or coach or practitioner, there's still a way to be able to systemize your business so you can help more people. Now, because of this system, because I've been able to develop the system within my own business, I've been lucky enough to train now over 10,000 people across 18 countries and build a 7-figure passion and freedom lifestyle business. I've been interviewed on national TV multiple times. I work mostly from home online. I spend quality time with my family, and I get to run my own company, and I now get to live the life that I love. And it all started because I stumbled into a hypnotherapy course. I realized that I had to get better with learning how to market to begin with and getting smarter at marketing, and then also about developing systems and using systems so that my time was going to be better used. But life wasn't always like that. I used to be stuck in a job and was unfulfilled and wished that life had more meaning, and ultimately I was wishing that life was easier. because I wasn't getting the success that I wanted. I did what everyone else was doing around me, which was go get a job and work hard and try to climb the ranks and pay the bills, and nothing was really working out for me. I wasn't feeling truly fulfilled by that. But I was trying to make some extra money on the side. I was trying to do things that were going to break me outside of the corporate structure. I tried multi-level marketing. I tried selling things on eBay. I tried foreign exchange trading. I tried running a cafe. I tried selling T-shirts online, running festivals, like running a record label at one point. I tried drop shipping, buying cheap stuff from China, and then trying to sell that on like Alibaba. I tried property investing, and that required a lot of capital and was slow. And I was trying it all, but nothing was really working. And in fact, nothing really made me feel fulfilled. And so I went back to the job and I just retreated to what I knew. But I desperately wanted to have passion and purpose. I wanted to make a difference in the world. I wanted to make some good money so I could say yes to more things like traveling, and most of all, I just really wanted to feel good about what I was doing, that it had some meaning and purpose to it. I just knew that something had to change. I was just so sick of being caught up on this rat race that I had to make a radical shift. And my biggest problem was that no one that I knew had the lifestyle that I was seeking, and everyone else around me was just doing what I was doing, and I was dabbling in multiple different things, and I was failing at it. And I had really no idea how I was going to get my dream life to happen at that point. And there was a moment of opportunity that I came across, and it was one morning I had a big night out in the town, and one of my bad habits was I would just kind of deal with my lack of fulfillment in life by self-medicating. So I had a big night out on going to bars and clubs, and I came home and had a hangover the next morning, and I was just like, what am I doing with myself here? I've got to stop slowly killing myself. I was basically slowly killing myself, and I was doing all the wrong things. And I thought, if you think you're a smart guy, you've got to stop doing so many stupid things. So I pulled up the laptop and I just stumbled into a advertisement for a hypnotherapy course, an introductory course. It was coming up in about a week and a half. And I'm like, at that point I was super skeptical. I thought, is this even going to work? And I might be showing my age here, but there used to be a show called A Different Strokes. And this is Arnold, I think his name was in the character. And he was famous for saying, what you talking about, Willis? And that was kind of, there was a part of me was like, what am I talking about? Why am I even thinking about going to a hypnosis course? I mean, I was super skeptical. I thought it was all just mind control for weak-minded people. I was like, Star Wars, like, these are not the droids you're looking for. And thinking, I'm not one of these weak people. It's not going to work on me. There's also a part of me who was a bit apprehensive, thinking, are they just going to make us dance around like a chicken or do some weird things? But I was at that point of desperation, I thought, you know what, maybe I'm going to learn something that I don't know about. And so I went along to the course anyway. And I'm so glad I did, because it blew my mind. In that program, in that course, I went from a Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, so just about 2.5 days, just really introductory sort of stuff. But it was almost like someone gave me a user manual for my mind. I was able to quit smoking, I quit drinking, I gained more confidence within myself. I felt like I really started to understand myself for the first time. And I was in my early 30s at this point. And over the next few weeks, I went back to my corporate job and I started using the skills and speaking differently and using language in a more empowering way. And I was able to convince my boss to give me a $10,000 pay rise. And so I was like, this is amazing stuff. It's just changed my own life, but it's now made me some money. And I was able to also help my staff in better ways. Like, some had depression, some had migraines. I was able to help them deal with a lot of that. And I was like, this is really powerful stuff. But the best part for me out of all of this was in that program, in that course, I met someone, and I'd finally met this man who had the lifestyle, had the business, who had the way of thinking that I really wanted. And I finally met this man that became my mentor. I said, look, how do I do everything that you've done? How do I get the results that you've got? How do I get that lifestyle? How do I get the business? How do I get the abundance? How do I get the impact? He said, you need to do 3 things. He said, number 1, you need to learn a powerful transformational skill that helps people, but more importantly, helps yourself first, because you are your most important client to work with. I'm like, yep, all right, get that. I've learned hypnosis. He said, don't stop at hypnosis, but it's a really good starting point. I'm like, okay, I get that. I said, number 2, now that you've got a skill, you want to learn how to market yourself in a clever way. There's a lot of people out there that market themselves in a clumsy way. You need to rise above that and learn how to market yourself in a clever way. And so part of it is using hypnotic language and really understanding the psychology of consumers. But it's also about how you need to communicate in a more effective way, in the way that your audience wants you to communicate. He said, that's what you need to do next. I'm like, okay, great, I get that. All right, that'll be my next thing I'm going to focus on. He said, and thirdly, once you market yourself really well, you're going to get a lot of clients. If you don't have systems set up, you will implode. You won't be able to handle them. And in fact, you'll just trade one job for another job. He said, you'll just trade working 40 hours a week for a boss to then working 40 hours a week for yourself. So is that really what you want? Do you want to just work 40 hours a week every single week, week on week on week on week? Or do you want some time off? I'm like, yeah, no, I want some time off. He said, so you need to set up systems so you can create that freedom lifestyle business. I'm like, okay, great. All right, I get this. And so I fully invested my mentor and basically quit my career and went on this big journey. Oops. And so I know a lot of people at this point thinking, hang on, what is an e-hypnotherapist, first of all? Now, is it a hypnotherapist that helps people electronically, just like email is electronic mail? What I want to let you know is that there are many struggling yet talented hypnotherapists and healers and practitioners and coaches that are out there right now that don't understand how to run a smart business. And so helping people using hypnosis via online videos or even audio is just one dimension to becoming an e-hypnotherapist. The E actually stands for entrepreneur. An e-hypnotherapist is that sweet spot between being a smart digital entrepreneur and being a heart-driven hypnotherapist. As you can see, that sweet spot in the middle. Because I think now more than ever, more and more people are out there suffering, and they need leaders and practitioners and healers and coaches and business owners to step forward and make it more accessible and do so in an elegant way, in an effective way, so that we can communicate in the way that the audience needs us to communicate, so they can make an informed decision about what we have to offer. So let's kind of break it down into the individual components. We talked about the skill. You need to have a skill you can monetize. And so I used to believe that I only had skills that my employer could find useful. I was in my early 30s, and I used to think it was too late or too risky to learn something new and start again. Fortunately, I found the courage to challenge that idea. But a skill such as e-hypnotherapy can be quick to learn in terms of the basics, but also offers you very quickly a doorway into an industry that commands an average of $150 an hour, which is pretty good money for a lot of people per hour. Now, learning hypnotherapy and e-hypnotherapy gives you access to the super skill of mastering your own mindset and then helping others to do the same. It really is like being given a user manual for your own mind. Of course, you need to read the manual and use it to really make the most of mastering your own mindset and then helping other people do the same thing. So we train and certify you in traditional hypnotherapy and then e-hypnotherapy, the most modern form of hypnotherapy, which includes learning advanced learning principles, the practitioner mindset formula, the power responsibility, self-hypnosis and hypnotherapy, e-hypnotherapy strategies, how to do it online, preparing the client for powerful transformation, habit science and addictions, self-sabotage patterns, therapy secrets, and dealing with unexpected online events that inevitably will happen over time, and then so much more. And so it's really about giving everyone that foundational understanding. Even if you've already trained in hypnotherapy before, many people haven't learned e-hypnotherapy, and there's many different forms of hypnotherapy as well. And so I think anytime we get an opportunity to learn something new or learn something again, that's the universe's way of saying, I know you know this, but how much do you do what you know? And how much more can we take that level of expertise to the next level? And if you don't know anything, at least you're going to be given that basic level of understanding. So once we have the skill, let's look at the market now. When I first started my business, I wanted to help everyone, and so I tried to appeal to everyone. And there actually needs to be a distinction and a separation between who you can help, which is potentially everyone, but who you aim to help first, which needs to be a smaller category. And this is an important step towards effective marketing. So you want to start with a vision on who your ideal target market is and aim to communicate directly to them, which is just one style of person. I'll give you an example. A mother with a newborn has different needs, wants, desires, dreams, hopes, and fears, as opposed to a mother with teenage kids. Yes, they're both mothers, but they have different things that are important to them in their life at that point. A single man has different motivations compared to a retiree man who's maybe in his 50s or 60s. And so if you make your marketing too broad, it ends up appealing to very few people. So it's like counterintuitive apart to marketing. Look, most people, when they do market, they only market to about 5% of the market that's out there that are ready to buy. Even though 95% of the market actually contains the ideal clients who are just waiting for someone to market to them in the right way. Now, not everyone's ready to buy when you're ready to sell because they need to know you, like you, and trust you or your product before they're ready to take action. Now, most people make the mistake. Most business owners and practitioners and healers are out there just marketing to the same 5%, missing the full 95% of people. And that's how this system enables our students to get so many more clients. You need to ensure that you understand what your target market needs in order to feel ready to purchase, with a focus on using language that they already use to describe their situation. So it's really about getting into their head and communicating the way that they need to receive it, not the way that we like to give it as such. And so how do you get clarity and understand your market? Well, step one, you need to believe in yourself. You need to believe that, no, I can absolutely make a difference and I can change these people's lives. Step two is about stepping up to that hold on the identity of being an expert. And we show you very quickly how to do that. There's 3 types of expert you can be. 2 of them can happen very, very quickly, probably within a few days. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to be the world's best expert, but it means you'll be an expert. And there's thousands and thousands of experts out there. And it's about you just stepping up to claim that identity, having that energetic congruency within you to do that. And then once you have the identity and the mindset of being an expert, then the next step is then doing the mechanics of it, which is getting really clear on what your mission is. What do you want to make your business all about? What's the big promise you want to give to people? Who do you want to help? Then getting into the market, which is who are those people specifically in the marketplace that you want to help? And who are your competitors that are already in that space? And then the message, which is how are you going to communicate to the market based on your mission in a way that's going to be effective? Now, we actually have a free 60-minute course. It only takes 60 minutes to go through it, called Laser Light Clarity. And it's designed to help you get clarity on your marketing so you're going to be able to have confidence and understand the passion that you can bring to it that will help you never feel like you're actually working a day in your life. So if you look below this video, you'll see a link to it. You can enroll. It's completely free of charge just to get you started. We really want to see you move forward and be able to create a successful online business where you get to change people's lives and you also get to create time freedom and abundance at the same time for yourself. So once we have the market really clear, we want to move to the irresistible offer. Now, there are 4 really lucrative offers that a digital healer or an e-hypnotherapist can make. Number 1, digital hypnotherapy scripts. So this is where you create it once. It could be a hypnotherapy script, a PDF. You create it once and you can sell it for years and create passive income that way. Another one is pre-recorded audio programs, whether it be hypnotherapy or meditation. Again, create it once, sell it for many years. Again, creates passive income. You can have personalized one-on-one service. That's typically where most healers and practitioners and therapists and coaches all sit. It's all a one-on-one. That can be lucrative, but it has a cap to it because there's a certain limit to how many clients you can work with each week. And then what we really focus a lot of the time on is creating a group program or a group workshop. And so it's expertly designed one-to-many group programs. That's where it could be one hour of your time delivered through a video call to maybe, let's say, 100 people. So 1 hour of your time impacts 100 people. Therefore, it creates the biggest leverage of your time, but also gives you uncapped earning potential and also client enrollment. Because whether it be 100 people or 1,000 people or 500 people, it's still 1 hour of your time. Now, when you put all 4 of those together, you have a very lucrative business model that you created then, or what we call a full product suite. And so when it comes to your offer, it's also about packaging. I used to think that people would just see the benefit of what I did and would want it. They're like, surely you understand what hypnosis is and you want to overcome these problems that you have. And I just thought the wow factor was self-evident. It's not, because there's so much noise and choice for consumers these days. The business owners, healers and coaches, more than ever need to package up what they do in memorable and unique ways. So example of these 2 products, if they're exactly the same product in terms of their content, which one are you going to go for? Which one's going to draw your attention to? If they're on a shelf, which one are you going to pick up? I know I'd be picking up this second one here. And so start by defining what you do in a way that positions you as unique and compelling. And then interested prospects should actually feel compelled to take on your service based on how it's packaged and delivered. So how do you do that? Well, in step 1, it's about choosing something you're passionate about. It's why we call it a irresistible, passion-driven irresistible offer. You want to be driven by your own passion to do your best work in this space. Step 2, you want to emphasize what makes your offer unique compared to all the other competitors out there. And we show you how to do that through a competitor analysis. Step 3, you want to choose something you are confident, you have energetic congruency in that you can deliver to. And then step 4, you want to design a set of memorable steps that people can easily remember and kind of walk themselves back through once they hear it once or twice. Again, something that makes it a sticky idea. It kind of sticks in their head. And so we do this throughout our program. We give you the training, we give you the templates, we give you the support, we give you the coaching, we give you the feedback on your deliverables to help you create and design your passion-driven, irresistible, what we kind of nickname your $1 million idea offer that is magnetic to your ideal target market. And so again, there's a competitor analysis matrix that we take you through. So once you're really clear that you have this irresistible offer, it has a wow factor to it, we call it your $1 million idea. The next step is let's move to the marketing piece. So failing to learn how to market yourself effectively actually prevents you from helping all the people you could possibly help. Now, word of mouth and referrals are great, but it only helps the people that are already educated about what you do. A larger portion of the target market are unaware and often undereducated in what you do, how you do it in a unique way, why it works better than any other solution that's out there, and how it can actually help them overcome their own blockages. So what we do is we show you how to develop an evergreen system for your marketing that you create once, but you use many times. So you can educate and inspire in a smarter way to help even more people without being pushy or any sort of overhyped sort of fake marketing tactics. So in order to help your ideal target market to feel comfortable and well-informed about investing in your product or service, you need to cater for these 6 beliefs. So the first belief is person. They need to believe in you. They need to know you, like you, and trust you as the expert. The second belief is they need to believe they've even got a problem. If they don't think they've got a problem, they won't take up your offer. Even though they may have the problem, they're unaware that they have it. They need to also believe in the path. So the path that you're suggesting, they need to believe, yeah, that sounds right. That is going to help me solve my problem. They need to see proof. They need to believe and understand that this is not the first time you've done it, that there's some history to this, that you're not going to use them as guinea pigs, and that you can absolutely commit to delivering on what you promise you're going to deliver. Then you've got the price. They need to believe that the investment they're making is a good deal for them, so they're going to get a return on investment as well. And they also need to believe that it's a priority for them to take action. Otherwise, they'll just wait longer and longer and longer and longer and longer, and they'll never take action to solve their problem. So once you have those 6 beliefs in place, that person, that prospect is very likely to buy because they're now well informed. They believe in you. They believe in your program. They believe in your promise. They believe that there's proof behind what you're saying. They believe that the price is a good price for them, and they believe they need to do this now. And so it's just a matter of them taking action then. And so there are 2 types of marketing for you to consider. One is daily organic marketing. So that's where you're posting on social media, whether it be Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever it is, posting regularly. You can also do live videos. Again, whether it be Facebook live videos or Instagram, TV, whatever live video you want to do as well. And often the social media platforms love that. So that's free of charge. It doesn't cost you anything to do that. But it's also about making sure you have a strategy for it, that you don't want to just do it randomly, that there's a sequence to it. And then the second part is the campaign-based marketing activity. And this is where you set up promotions. It's where you have automation that does a lot of the work for you. And you also have paid ads. It does come at a cost. You do need to put some money in at the front. But when it's done in the right way, you get a return on investment. So you might spend $100 at the front to set it all up. And if you can get a 5x return, well, it spits out $500. That's a pretty good return on investment. And you just put another $100 at the front, makes $500. And then so you just kind of feed the machine. That's once you have the system set up. This is the value of having a system. And so what we do in this program, in the E-Hypnotherapist Certification and Marketing Program, is we provide you with a ultimate social media strategy template, which basically takes the effort out of the free daily marketing activity. So we show you how to market your business completely free. There's no ongoing costs because we know some people are starting off from a position of not having enough capital to put in at the front. So we show you how to do this. We give you a fully customizable Google Sheet template. So you can kind of enter your own fields in here and it populates it through and it kind of teaches you your own customized strategy. There are 10 preloaded posting themes. So there's actually 10 themes in here to develop the strategy for you. There's a printer-friendly wall chart. There's 30 Facebook video live ideas and headlines. There's as a headline methods, there's 12 of them headlines over here that you can kind of pick and choose from to help you with your posting. There's a headline generator, so you can create a completely brand new and unique headline. There's engagement post ideas. They're the questions you ask on social media to get engagement from your audience. And there's over 3,000 inspirational quotes if you don't know how to find inspirational quotes. We've designed this as being the ultimate social media strategy template. You won't need to go and use too many other tools once you get your hands on this. And this is to help you get the most out of your free advertising, your free marketing. And then we show you how to then set up not only just the free, but also the paid by using the 4 most powerful content marketing videos that we've found. And it's to create an evergreen marketing system that positions you as a credible expert in your field, what we call the expert positioning marketing system. And so your ideal target market will love to watch these marketing videos because they are jam-packed with insightful and thought-provoking knowledge about your expertise. Unlike most of the other videos that are out there that many other people do, that's really sales heavy, but very light on the value. These are going to be completely different from what most of your competitors are doing, and your audience will love to watch your videos. Once we have the marketing system set up, these 4 videos and then some of the social media strategy, and they can complement each other, it's then moving on to the sales system. So I used to think that selling was pushy, aggressive, and I felt like I was intruding on people's day. And I was an idealist, thinking that the right people don't need to be sold to, but that was actually a limitation that held me back from helping even more people. Sales, when done effectively, is actually an enjoyable experience for the customer and also the salesperson. Selling is just a form of communication that informs the right prospective client with a potent combination of information, hope, excitement, and urgency. Selling, if it's done correctly, is actually healing. It gives the client an opportunity to heal themselves and move from suffering to thriving, helping them to overcome their own self-sabotage patterns that would have otherwise prevented them from going through their own healing process. I know I've had some bad selling experiences in the past where people did it in the wrong way and it feels pushy or high pressure. And then to understand that there's such an elegant and authentic and transparent way of doing it that just informs people with the information they need, gives them the hope that they're looking for, excites them at the prospect of what's possible, and also helps them make a decision from a place of urgency, because that is how someone changes their life. That's how they get into that place of thriving. So imagine having an automated system that educates and inspires and qualifies your leads, saving you more time and effort, that brings in a flood of clients. Does that sound good? Well, that's exactly what we teach you to do in this sales system, in all the steps. So you got social media, whether it's free or you got paid ads. You take them to give them some free training. They get some free training. They might book a call. They might not. You give them some more training. They might book a call. They might not. More training. Might. And so you keep on adding value. You are giving huge amount of value through these 5 videos. There's the 4 there that create the expert positioning marketing system. And then this one as well, the free is what we call your masterclass. They all come together and they add so much value to your audience's life, irrespective of whether they feel like now's the right time to enroll with you or not. Either way, you are adding value, and I believe you should always add value to people's lives if you have their attention. If you have their attention, you want to reward their attention and add value in return. Right now, we are in the attention economy. The idea is that when you develop these videos, and we'll show you how, we give you the templates, we kind of give you the feedback on how to create them, you want your audience to sit there and go, wow, I've never thought of it like that. If you can get them to say that inside their head, you have created an amazing video. And it's also supported by an email sequence that goes through this same approach. So you're just making sure that your audience knows that you're sending them more value each day, and the right people, whether if it's a right fit, if they connect with it, they know you, like you, and trust you, they will then book a call because they might have some questions that they want answered. And they might also be truly inspired to change their life in the way that you're suggesting you can help them with. And so what it does, it develops trust, awareness, excitement, and hope. And it's all automated. So it takes you out of the picture once it's created. So this is the evergreen system. So again, it adds value to your audience. It leaves them with actionable knowledge. It positions you as an expert. It subtly promotes your offer, but it also gives them a low barrier to entry call to action at the end, so that you're not asking for money or anything like that. You're just saying, hey, for the right people, this is what I really want to do. This is what I'm passionate about. This is the proof in what I do. I don't have to do pushy approach because this stuff works, and for the right people, they'll see that as well. And it's basically just attracting the right people to your business and to your offer. It's what we call the magnetic masterclass. Here's another graphical representation. This is one of our students who's actually now become one of our coaches as well, Abby. So this is her high value masterclass. This is her day 2 video, her day 3 video, day 4 video, day 5 video. And it's all about getting people, the right people, of course, to book a call, because you actually don't want the wrong people to book a call. You want to filter out the wrong people. And this is designed to do that for you, so you're not having conversations with the wrong people. Part of the sales system is creating the predictable sales system. And that's where you create predictable sales, which nurtures those cold leads into hot buyers in a way that still makes the non-purchasers still love what you do and follow your work. Again, if people are going to give you attention, let's reward them with some sort of value. So it's one thing to get plenty of sales and get plenty of clients. If you don't know how to manage your business at that point, it might implode. And that's why we also have the next module that we cover, which is the business intelligence system. Now, I once helped someone grow their business. I once did all of this without the business intelligence system, helped them create over $100,000 in business in 6 months. And they loved it because it took their business to a whole nother level. But a few months later, I was talking to them and they were stressed out because they didn't have any money. I'm like, how do you not have any money? And it turned out that they'd spent the money on all the wrong things. And so a 6-figure income means nothing if you're spending 6 figures also, if you're spending it the wrong way. And so having a world-class product or service, landing high-value clients and repeating this system is just the start to your business. What comes next is the financial management, the business strategy, all to ensure that you have this long-term sustainability and growth in your business. And so we show you how to use quick business intelligence systems and disciplines and models to help you guide the decision-making process that you're on, and also to help you learn more about your business as it grows. I mean, if you have never ran a $100,000 business before, there's lessons that you learn at that point. And if you haven't ran a $250,000 business, there's more lessons at that point. And then $500,000, there's more lessons at that point. And then you got $1 million, a 7-figure business, and there's more lessons at that point. And there's a progression that you go through as you're learning, as your business expands. What we've done is created systems for you to guide you in how to make best decisions in your business as you go through that process. Now, this is not accounting, it's not bookkeeping, it's more mindset, it's more CEO. You're the CEO, you're the founder of your business. What are the decisions that you need to make on a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly basis that's going to ensure the sustainability and the long-term growth of your business? Now, it's what we call the 6-figure business foundation, where you discover a number of efficient and quick-to-use business intelligence systems. You get to plan your business with good strategy. You get to plan, review, and track your financial business model. You get to track your income and expenses against your plan. You'll quickly assess how to make necessary changes to your business to strengthen your weaknesses and amplify your strengths. And that is our 5-step E-Hypnotherapist certification and marketing program. As a quick recap, step 1 is the E-Hypnotherapy certification, get everyone a skill that can be monetized. Then number 2 is create an irresistible offer, passion-driven irresistible offer with some wow factor to it. Once you have an offer ready, we then move to the marketing side of it, the expert positioning marketing system. Once you have that, move to the 4th step, which is now creating the predictable sales system. And once you have all of that working, you've got these sales coming through, you've got enrollments, you've got a flood of clients, then moving to, let's show you how to manage your business through the 6-figure business intelligence systems. And so there are individual systems throughout all 5, but overall it creates one big system, which is what we call the 5-step FFA system. FFA being freedom, fulfillment, and abundance. If you're looking for freedom, fulfillment, and abundance, this is one of the best ways that I know to be able to help people create the freedom in their time. It gets to scale their business. It creates abundance because you start to scale your business and you no longer have a cap to how many clients you can work with. And you also get fulfillment from it because you know you're doing a really good service out in the community. You're taking people from a place of suffering, moving to a place of thriving. You get to do something you love. There's no better way to live your life than to do something you're truly passionate about and you know is making a difference. And so I won't go through all the individual modules. You can pause this if you'd like to kind of have a look at this. We will put a graphic beneath this video. So by the time this shows up on the screen, you'll see there'll be a graphic there you can kind of look at and scan through. But there's a lot of modules throughout each of these 5 steps. Now, there's an outline here that you can have a look at. Again, I won't go through all of this. This is kind of like a bit of a menu list as to everything that we go through and the breakdown by weeks. It is delivered over 12 weeks, but there is no endpoint to it. So, you're not forced to get through in 12 weeks. At the end of the 12 weeks, we don't take it away from you. You just get access for life. But it really is 12 weeks to help you set up your successful online business. We get to change people's lives and you get to really create that abundance and fulfillment for yourself as well. Now, we also give you some bonuses because there's some additional content that's really going to help amplify your business. You get the systems journal, and that is because we never reach our true potential. What we actually do is we achieve the potential of the systems that we use regularly. And so as a bonus, you get this systems journal, which is to help you align your mindset with your big vision on a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and yearly basis. So it covers a rapid morning primer. It's probably unlike any primer you've ever done before, so don't get too confused by the word primer. It's a 5-minute rapid primer that unconsciously primes your mind for a number of different aspects that's really going to help you perform at your best that day. There's a weekly habit tracker, there's a weekly reflections page, and there's a monthly review as well. So you really stay focused on building your own business and staying focused on you and your values and what really makes you fulfilled on a daily basis and your passions. We also give you access to the money mindset makeover, and that's because your biggest challenge to creating abundance is going to be your relationship with money and your self-worth. And so, this is a business-based program as well. Yes, it's hypnotherapy, but it's also business as well, because that is how you start helping thousands of people out there, as you need to run a business and systemize it. So it's a combination of the two. Like I said, it's about being a heart-driven healer with being also a smart entrepreneur, bring them together. That's the E-Hypnotherapy. And so it's about giving you access to the 4-day money mindset makeover to help you identify and remove the unconscious blockages that you likely have about money, abundance, and wealth. And so it only takes 2 hours to go through it. So it's not very long at all, but it's quite potent, quite powerful. And so you'll go through the millionaire belief formula, the magnetic vision process, the 5 wheels of wealth and your relationship with money, and also the 90-day mindset shift into abundance. We also give you access to the world-class hypnosis script program, showing you how to create your own advanced hypnosis scripts so you can use and sell. As we said, it's one of the lucrative offers of an e-hypnotherapist is create PDFs or scripts that you can then sell to hypnotherapists worldwide. And in fact, Google statistics will show that there are roughly 60,000 hypnotherapists every month are searching for hypnosis scripts. So it can be quite a lucrative business. I make thousands of dollars every year, and I'm talking into five figures and above 50,000 every year from hypnotherapy scripts that I wrote 7, 8, 9 years ago. I haven't written very many scripts for probably the last 4 years. I'm not inspired to write scripts anymore. I want to show you how you can do it. And so in this program, you'll learn how to use hypnotic language, how to develop pre-induction discussion. It makes sense as to what that is. How to increase your client's leverage hypnotically, so the leverage to take action, how to hypnotically set goals, and how to hypnotically create metaphors or stories that really help people make an unconscious and indirect, soft sort of change. Modeling one of the most successful hypnotherapists over the last probably 50, 100 years. And then we also give you 40 advanced hypnotherapy scripts. So in that last bonus, we're going to show you how to write your own scripts. What we're also going to do is give you 40 scripts pre-created. They're ready to go. So you can work with clients immediately, even before you get through the world-class hypnosis script program. Now, I won't go through all of them, but there's 40 in there. We only got 20 listed on the page here. But there's probably something for everyone. There's depression, there's anxiety, there's money mindset that's in there, there's alcohol, there's shyness, there's nail biting, there's quit smoking, lose weight, snoring, insomnia, a whole bunch of different ones. And that's to get you to be able to go and serve people immediately if you choose to. Then we have the 14 hypnotherapy audio programs. So these are audio programs that, again, pre-created by me. These are the ones that absolutely work. We've used them for over 11 years. It's changed thousands of people's lives. And so we give you access to this in the event that you want to use it on yourself. So you might want to boost your own immune system. You might want to lose weight faster. You might want to get rid of long-term pain. You might want to quit smoking. You might want to get more energy in your body. You might want to get greater control over your emotions. You might want to stop procrastinating. You might want to become a money magnet. So you've got access to these 14 audio programs that you can use on yourself to help you get the edge in your life as well if you haven't experienced any transformation through hypnotherapy. These give you the option to do that. So you get all of this stuff, and there's too much to put on the one page here. I kind of ran out of space, but you get the 5-step program. Again, if this is something you're feeling connected to, if it's something you feel alignment with, if you want our support to be able to create a successful business, we really want you to understand what you get with our program and the support you get. So you get all 5 steps and all the training involved with that. You get the systems journal, you get the money mindset makeover, you get the world-class hypnosis script, you get the audio programs, you get the 40 scripts to really get you started. I designed this in the way that I wish someone had made this available to me when I was starting out. I wish someone had this program available when I started 11 years ago, because it would have fast-tracked my progress so much. A lot of my 11 years were making mistakes because this sort of stuff just didn't exist back then. So It doesn't mean anything to have this amazing program if you don't have support. So you might be thinking, oh, Shane, I need some support. What if I have questions? What if I don't know how the answer to this? Or what if, how do I get feedback on my own marketing? We give you 3 dimensions of support. So the first dimension is through the community. So the community is you'll join hundreds of other passionate, supportive, and inspired e-hypnotherapists from all around the world to encourage you to celebrate and share ideas with you. So you get other hypnotherapists and e-hypnotherapists and coaches and kinesiologists and massage therapists and chiropractors and doctors, and there's a whole bunch of people in that community already. This program is in its 9th version. So it's continually refining because social media changes over time as well. So we've got hundreds of people in this community already. You also get coaching support. So twice a week, one of the business coaches will make themselves available. It typically happens on a Tuesday and then on a Thursday. And they're there to support you and answer any of your questions personally. It is group coaching, so you can submit your question, I'll answer your question. Sometimes we do hot seating, sometimes we help people with their scripts, sometimes we'll review people's videos. And so you can be a part of that. If you can't attend live, you can send in your question and you can watch the replay of it. So you get personalized attention. Then you also get me as well. I'm the founder of the program. I'm probably the person that knows it inside out, back to front, left to right. And I'm going to bring a decade of my experience to it. I give people feedback on their videos. I give them feedback on their scripts. I am in the program. This is not like one of those programs that you see the founder on the videos and you never see them again. I will be in that program on a consistent basis, giving you feedback. And so you get 3 levels of support in this program. And because we know that the support is really about what helps you get the results in life. It's one thing to be given a tool. It's another thing to be shown and given support as you learn how to use that tool. And so that is the E-Hypnotherapist Certification and Marketing Program. But perhaps the best thing about all of this is that you learn a system that shows you how to create multiple brands, not just one. Now we say start with one. You create one first, create one world-class brand, get that up to 6-figure level. Make $100,000 through that. I mean, it's not just $100,000, but in order to create $100,000, you likely have to impact probably 50 people. So you've got 50 people that you have impacted in a really powerful way. And so you've got $100,000 and 50 people. You now know that is a very successful brand, but there might be something else that you're really passionate about doing. So you can then replicate it for a different brand. This is Abby. I sort of mentioned Abby earlier. She was a student. She's now a coach in the program. Now, Abby started the program. Within 16 months, she had released 3 brands. She's released 3 brands. She's released a book as well. That book was an idea that she'd had for 8 years. And then by being in the program, it changed her whole mindset. It got her into taking massive action. She now is a leader. She's an international self-worth and self-love expert. To give you some insight, Abby made just over $22,000 in 10 days from a high-level signature program. That was when she's like, wow, this stuff really works. She's like, I see the value of this now because it is a system that you can just replicate from that point forwards. This is Emma. Emma was a housewife, part-time receptionist, trying to run a healing business from home, barely earning $500 a week. She is now an international expert and speaker, earns a multiple 6-figure income, and works mostly from home. She trained with me. I showed her how to market her business, coached her in some of her videos and her scripts. She made over $47,000 in 54 hours from her first high-level signature program. Called the Family Freedom Protocol. That's an example. I think that's it there. I think it's Timeline Reset. I'm not sure whether that's. So she's got multiple brands. I think she's got like 4 or 5 brands these days because she just replicates the system. She understands how the system works because she's got multiple passions and she wants to help more and more people. And because it's all systemized, so whilst her Family Freedom Protocol works really well, she can then run the Timeline Reset as well. And it doesn't, and I think she's got Delete Reset. She's got a whole bunch of other ones that she does now because they are systemized. So if any of this connects with you, if you're sitting there listening to this and you're like, wow, I wish that I had some help. I want to do that. I want to be able to work smarter. I really want to help people. I want to use technology to my advantage. I want to stop being so scared of technology. I want to let you know that you don't have to be a tech head to do this. You just have to be someone that is willing to follow instructions, that can put your hand up if you need help. Because if you need help, you don't ask for it, we don't know. We will be there. We will work as hard as what you work. We treat your business like it's our own business. So if any of this connects with you, if any of this resonates with you, what I'd say is get excited and take action. I believe like the universe has shown you this for a reason. I think if you're watching this, you're like, nah, Shane, I don't want to be a part of it. That's cool as well. I much prefer you to not waste your time or my time if this is not a good fit for you. But if this is a good fit for you, if you truly are serious about becoming an expert, a healer, a hypnotherapist, a e-hypnotherapist, a coach, a practitioner, a therapist, an expert in something, and you want to take your business online, which is a smarter and most modern form of doing it right now, and you want a system that absolutely works. The system absolutely works. I guarantee the system works. The only question mark is always over the student. Will the student follow the system? The system absolutely works. So if any of this interests you, if you've got any questions, book a call right now. Get your questions answered. Let us help you discover how you can create more fulfillment with what you do, how to create more freedom of time by working smarter, and then create more abundance by scaling your business. So again, if any of it connects with you, book a call right now. You've got nothing to lose other than maybe 5-10 minutes of your time, but at least you get your questions answered and you'll walk away more empowered. And you know what? Either whether it be myself or one of the coaches, we will ensure that you walk away from that phone call with some value and with some idea as to what you can do next, whether it be with us or without us. But if you'd like a team of experts in your corner to guide you every step of the way, book a call right now. Let's find out. Let's get your questions answered. I'll speak to you soon. Take care.